Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode
Hello.
with Mystic Scales and Fairy
And
Tales
Fairy Tales
podcast.
Podcast.
I'm
Hi,
Jennifer. Hi.
I'm Lee. It's been a minute since we've recorded, so this is
A minute
this
for
is
us, but
fun.
not a minute for the listeners because we still have the episodes coming out like constantly,
Exactly.
but we pre-recorded a lot because we had a big move in the family. Lee moved states. We're not going to say which states to keep privacy,
I
but
did
Lee did move.
big changes, but we're such good planners that everything on the podcast was pretty seamless.
Literally.
So
You guys wouldn't know a
love
difference,
it.
so it's great. No,
Yeah, props to us.
we're very proud of Lee. We're very excited for her and her
Thank you.
journey. You know,
Thank you.
um,
Big deal, but it's exciting. It's good.
it is.
And we get to keep going, which is even better. So, and
So today,
all my driving, I got to do more listening. So it's been audiobook month for me.
yeah, I don't know how you don't get
And
tired
yeah,
driving and listening to a book.
it depends on the book.
Mm.
One of the books we're going to talk about today is not a good driving book. So take it away.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about, usually every episode we talk about a book to review it, and we read it with our book club, but we had a very interesting thing happen with our book club, which is the first time ever in the year of us having this book club. We have it on Fable. If you haven't joined us already, join us. It's called Mystic Scales and Fae Tales, just like our name of the podcast. It's easy to look us up on Fable. If you just look up Fae Tales, it comes up right away.
Mhm.
FAE, like Fae, like that. So anyway, we've had the first time ever our group, which we have currently like 550 people, DNF a book, a DNF a series, which is kind of insane to do
Yeah.
that. You
Uh,
might, if you've been following our episodes, have listened to our review of the Book of Azrael, which is part of the God and Monster series by Amber V. Nicole. Our group voted on this book. We had a poll. We put some books in that everyone we put books in that Lee and I have been wanting to read, but then also we did what books do you guys want to read? And then everyone wrote it down, and then it ended up that book got a lot and voted a
hmm
lot. Everyone was really excited. And then we
hmm
started it, and unfortunately, it did not go well for our book club. And for me and Lee as well, personally. So we did
Yeah.
DNF the series and we DNF the book. So our schedule has changed with our book club. We shifted
Mm.
to do another book in the meantime because earlier in our episodes and reviews, you can go back. We did do a review of Quicksilver by Callie Hart, and the second book comes out literally in like 2 weeks or
Two
so.
weeks. Yeah.
So we always plan to line up our book club so that way the book club can read the second book. So we were like, okay, if we're gonna all agree to DNF the series, we'll just read another book in the meantime. So right now our book club is currently reading Phantasma, which if you listen to our episode, Lee and I already read it and reviewed it, but we read it it was nice to revisit with the book with the group chat,
hmm
with the book.
hmm
It was nice to revisit with the book club. So that's currently going on. So today's episode, all long-winded, is we are talking about DNF books. Books we've recently DNF'd. We're going to talk more about the Gods and Monsters series and why we DNF'd it. And
hmm
it's just a nice chit chat because I feel like this is not something a lot of people talk about all the time. So
No,
it's great. It's
no.
great.
Yeah. And I mean, we put in a good effort, you know, we really did. And we were gonna stick it out, but like truthfully, the rest of the club was not feeling it either. So we were all kind of
Well,
on the
I
same
think that
page.
you were gonna stick it out, Lee. I was not gonna stick it
Well,
out.
okay, yeah,
I dropped
so
off.
I finished the second book. You did not,
No, I think I only got
which
like 30%, not even.
is fine. But I also like I don't skim books and like our friend Linnea was like you can skim it. And so that's what I did. And it was a difficult thing to do. But this book was so like in a way it was like easy to do it with this book, which makes like that
Hmm.
tells you everything, right? Like if I
Hmm.
can just go through and only read the dialogue and even that I can be skipping around.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. And this book was what? This one was 700 pages.
I was literally just about to say, put in perspective for the listeners. There's four books. The fourth book actually just came out, I think, like this week, in the series. And Lee has mentioned
Yeah.
before that the author planned for seven books. the first book was like almost 700 pages and the second book was over 700. So imagine trying to, as a reader, you're really committing a lot of thought process to this series with each book being
Hmm.
almost 700 pages or more. And if you're
Hmm.
listening, like I was doing for a lot of it, it was like 26 hours or some extreme amount of hours. And the reader wasn't even
Yeah.
that good on top of that. So that's what sucked. So it was
No.
a lot to ask the reader to do, which is like great if you're sat for the series, but we're gonna go into more detail. A lot of it we're not sat for. And so
No.
yeah, so Lee finished book two. Did you ever review book two?
I actually think that I did. Let me look.
I love that.
Um, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure the third book is shorter. So I think somewhere along the line someone was like, "Hey,
We need to cut
let's
down.
not." Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say the reason that I ended up DNFing it, which if no one's ever heard of that, it means do not finish, was I really just couldn't get past so much of the writing. I felt the author has definitely a concept there that is intriguing. And we've talked about this before. I think I've said on the podcast, this would make a great CW show. Like CW better pick this
Mm.
shit up because it really
Hmm.
would. It's like that, like
Yeah.
I don't know. A CW is like perfect example because it's like shows you like what the fuck is happening. This wouldn't make any sense, but you still like get intrigued. But I can't
Yeah.
do that with this book because it's so much writing to get
Yeah.
like there's so many chapters and so many dialogue that you're reading that you're like, okay, we haven't even moved anywhere in the story. I could probably
Hmm.
cut like so much of the first book out when I read it a fully to make it so much shorter. And it just felt like a
Yeah.
waste of my time. And it
Hmm.
felt like too much. I was just rolling my eyes and constantly being upset, and it wasn't
Hmm.
enjoyable.
Yeah. My review of 1.5 stars. Um, it says a lot of the writing is just ridiculous, and several of the POVs are just pointless. So that's just kind of exactly what you're saying. And
Is that the whole review?
no, that's just a piece of it. It's a
Read
very
it.
short
Read it.
review, but
Read it.
it's literally what I just said. Okay, so I don't think I've ever truly skimmed through a book before, but this one had me flipping through so fast. A lot of the writing just ridiculous. Several of the POVs are just pointless. If you can make it to the last 60 pages, God bless, because that's the only time a story really starts to take shape. And it's so true. And
That's
like
amazing.
shamefully in a way, I was like, oh, like I'm interested now. But at the same time, I don't want to keep going. Like, you
Yeah.
got me and then you lost me. So,
Which is even more frustrating because then you have to battle with yourself whether or not you want to keep going or not. And you're just
yeah.
like, I hated like 80%, 90% of this book. Like, that's terrible.
Yeah. And I really didn't even want to read the second one, but I felt like we had to
Yeah.
for the club. So, we kind of just got to a breaking point in the middle of what, September, I feel like.
Yeah, like it was
Even,
coming around the time where we had to change to book three. And I also like we noticed like our club was not as active.
yeah, they
Like,
weren't
and
responsive.
no, there was only a few people that were. So I was like, okay, this feels like not everyone's even reading it. So like what's the point of like wasting everyone's time? Unless if they're
Yeah.
enjoying it, of course, that's on their own time, but like we could be engaging all together in something that is exciting for us as a club, you know? Like there
Yeah.
are some
Yeah.
books that we've gotten less and I would say like when we read Divine Rivals, we got some good interactions, but a little less than I would say Quicksilver, for example. Quicksilver got a
Right.
lot more interactions. So we've had that
Sure.
in waves, of course, but like this series, the God and Monster series, it really was like we didn't get a lot of people responding. So it just
Yeah.
felt like it's like we could have everyone be included more on a book that everyone else is more excited for.
Hmm. And I think that's like the thing about DNFing is like you shouldn't feel bad when you're valuing your time, right?
Hmm.
If it's valuing your time, if it's valuing like your brain space, like why waste either of those things? So, and it's okay if like this is your speed or like this is the fantasy you want to enjoy.
Hmm.
Because sometimes it is. Like sometimes you do need that CW show and it's great.
Yeah.
And for us in this moment and our club, it just wasn't.
Yeah, I agree. Like Like, I don't think in any way me and you were either are shitting on the author at all. Like, props to them. It's hard to write a book, but
Yeah.
I'm not also like singing their praises. I'm not like, oh my God, this is like I truly don't understand what the book talk trend of this book really was and why people really loved it. Like I really it was
Yeah.
overhyped to me. I the writing has so many inconsistencies. I feel like a good editor should have went through and chopped it up a lot for them because like I
Hmm.
said, the concept is intriguing and CW is the best way to describe it. So like if it is your guilty pleasure, go for it. But
Yeah.
my guilty pleasures do not last 700 pages per book. I can't.
No.
And that's just
And they're
personal
not
preference.
seven
I really
books.
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah,
No.
listen, if I'm like really into it, okay, but I don't normally even read a 700 page book. Like
No.
my normal books are 400 pages and then, we've had our
Right.
outliers that are longer, but like
A little sweet spot. Yeah, I
you have
agree.
to really, I think you have to. And this might be like a controversial statement for everyone differently, readers and writers, but I think that you have to really earn it to be that long. Like if you're going to be
Mm.
that long, you need to earn it and your story needs to earn it. Not even just for the sake of keeping readers' attentions, because if they really are intrigued, they'll stay. But I think just in terms of the storytelling and giving respect and honor to your characters and to the story you're telling. Like if you're dragging it out, you could be doing a disservice to those characters and to the plot
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah. And it's like to your craft, right? Like writing is a skill and but there are rules, you know? You
Hmm.
can't just have it go on and on. Like that's just not good writing.
You can't just mind
So,
them. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. And expect people to be along for the whole ride.
Yeah.
I just don't think that works for anybody.
I also think it
Um,
does a disservice to whatever message you're trying to get across. Because, I
mm,
feel like every book has a message at the end of the day, whether or not you're intending to or not. Like, even if it's as simple as, like, kindness is great. Friends
right.
are awesome. Like, even if it's something
Yeah.
as simple as that, or as, like, deep and like, oh, society is terrible. Why is it terrible? Like, your book
Hmm.
has some kind of message and heart to it. And
Hmm.
not you doing that in the terms of like stretching or adding pieces that don't necessarily need to be there will do a disservice to getting that message across. And that message clearly is
Hmm.
important to you because you decided to put it in your
Hmm.
book.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I agree.
listen, I'm not an editor, but I read a lot of books.
Yes. And I think that counts for something. Like we know. Uh at least in like this genre, right? That's why we're here, why we're talking about it, why we have a podcast. So,
Literally.
um I wonder if there's anything else I should point out specifically. I just think that her whole, like Amber V. Nicole's whole idea was like if the girl is morally gray, right? And I think that's really what she wanted to do, and it's not working.
Hmm.
And I think we've even said this before, where like if it was only one point of view, so like maybe if it was only Liam or Sam Kyle, it might work.
I
Because
agree.
that is what we normally get, right? We usually get the girl and then you've got the morally gray guy and you get that one little chapter from his point of view and you like eat it up. But this it was just back and forth and they don't know how to express their feelings and we know exactly what their feelings are and da 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 da.
Yeah, you get
So,
it repeated to you twice, essentially. And
yeah.
that's what gets draining as a reader. And I think, I don't even think it's just to follow what we normally used to, but I think the aspect of getting one person's perspective with seeing a morally great character was as a reader, you're experiencing it with the main character that has to grapple with whether or not they like the character that's morally gray. Like
Mhm.
you're making excuses for them too. You're like, oh, I know they just killed this person, but they did it because of this, and you agree with them
Right.
because of that. So
Yeah.
it allows you to explore that morally gray spot. And
Hmm.
while the main character is grappling with it and deciding between it, you're also doing it. So I think it would have, you said it perfectly. It would have definitely brought so much more Diana as a character and for us to like engage with her more. Because I think that I think someone even in our book club said it. Like at one point they were like, all right, get over it. I get it now. You guys are upset. Like get over it already. or they were like,
Yeah.
Diana is like kind of annoying, like she's kind of mean. And I was just like,
Hmm.
yeah, it's not, you're not really cheering her. The idea was to cheer her on and be like, ah, you're on your hot girl shit. But like
Hmm.
now you're like,
Hmm.
no, you're kind of just like dragging this out. Like you're dragging your feet at this point.
Yeah. 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 And like, I don't know if you even got this far, but at one point she like introduces like Caden's point of view, and
No,
he's
I did
like,
not.
so he's supposed to be the really bad guy, but like she introduces his point of view, and he's kind of like soft in a sense because he's really in love with Diana. Like that is
Oh
his
my
weakness, is that
God.
he actually does love her, and that's why he had to do all those awful things. And I was like, for a second, I was almost like, hey, I could like this guy. Like maybe I like his perspective. Then I was like, no, this is stupid.
No, I think I clocked
Like,
out the moment we started getting Camille's point of view. I was like, which is like
oh,
third chapter in. I was like,
yeah.
why are we getting why are we getting all these point of views? I do not like this. I do not need this.
Yeah. And then like the two characters that actually have like good chemistry and like a good story are, oh God, I'm not gonna remember their names.
Is it the
They're
Celestials?
the two
The
guys
wife
that
and
are
husband?
part of,
Oh
no.
no, no.
They're like it's Cameron and his best friend. Oh my God.
Oh, that was introduced like toward the end of book one, like when they
Yeah.
went to visit. Don't remember his name
Yeah.
either.
But anyways, like they're best friends. One of them is with someone else, and then Cameron's like a flirt or whatever. But at the end, and like spoiler to everybody, um, the other one gets taken by Caden. And so Cameron has lost his mind because he's like, oh, basically, I never got to tell him I love him. And like now he
Oh my
has him
God.
and he's gonna, yeah, like that's a good story. But she doesn't handle it well. And they're just a
Mhm.
side character. They're side characters that are so predictable, but you almost want them more because like you can see that relationship better. So that's just unfortunate, you
Yeah,
know?
so that's really unfortunate.
And like I want to say like they'd make a great novella, but I also like don't want to encourage that.
You're like, actually, please do not give me any
It's
more
like
stories. I'm
no.
good.
So maybe if someone out there has like a fan fiction, I would read that. I wish I could remember the other guy's name, but it's
I
also
think I
been like a
told you,
month.
yeah, I think
So,
I told you from the beginning, like, if the fact that you can, okay, she does this thing where she summarizes all of book one in a
oh,
letter in the beginning,
yeah.
and you don't know how badly I wanted to throw my phone because I was like, I hate this. I was like, if you could first off, if you could summarize your entire book in like 3 pages, why did I just sit through 700 pages of the first book?
Mm,
A. Second, that is not how you start a second in the series.
mm-mm,
This is not a what did you miss on Glee? Like this is if your readers are coming to book two because they read book one, so you can assume that and you
mm,
can start the story right away. And there is
mm,
definitely ways, and we've read this in millions of sequels, to integrate what had just happened within the story and talking about it, whether it's a one-liner, a character thinking about something. Like
mm-hmm,
I'm already here, I know what happened. You did not need to do that.
mm-hmm,
That felt like high school writing. Like that felt like we are not a mature author writing. I was like,
mm-hmm.
whoever told her this was okay, not okay.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, big red flag there for sure.
There's a lot of
For
red flags.
sure.
That's a great way to say it. There's a lot of red flags in this book. And I was not happy. And I really don't get why people love it so much. And we were like, are we
No.
crazy?
Yeah, I know. I think it just is one of those where we are not with it. But like I'm glad because like I think that we understand what's good and like or at least what's good for us, you
Yeah.
know? I really don't want to put anyone down, but
I know, and you
I
can tell that with our episodes though, because we have said certain author we don't like, aka Alex Astor. We do not like her. And we've talked about those books and how much we don't like them. But again, I think we've agreed, like with Amber v. Nicole, like we're like, we're not the audience for your books, and we
Yeah,
do not like
yeah,
your writing. We think that there's a lot of critiques we have, but go off, queen, and do your shit. Like, it's
yeah.
not like a vendetta we have, but there are authors that
No.
we will shit on, and we will tell you where our vendettas against them and their books.
Hmm.
Um, Alex Aster is
Yeah.
an example.
Yeah. We're kind of shameless about that one, but oh well.
I know, I'm like, oh my God. What if one day we do like one of her books? That would be wild.
That would be wild. But I just don't like, I think you'd have to give us like a different jacket or a different cover and we wouldn't know, and then maybe. But if we still didn't like it, then it's
It
not
checks out.
just,
It checks
yeah,
out. Yeah.
yeah.
We are still debating whether or not we're gonna read that Grim and Oro flip thing. Oh my God.
Mhm.
I meant to tell you this. I was so mad. So they were advertising the new flip book.
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't know, the Lilac series is almost coming to an end, thank God. But they released like this flip book, which like who reads flip books anymore? Where you like literally flip the book and read the other perspective. It's a novella with the two male characters, and they were advertising the book.
Mm.
And in the video, they like compared Oro, the blonde guy, to PETA, and they
Oh,
compared Grim to Gale. And I was like, do not bring my baby into
oh,
this. I said, do not bring
oh,
my baby into this. This is nowhere near the Hunger
no.
Games. And I also hate, it's my biggest pet peeve if it's not a dystopian story, why are you mentioning the Katniss Peeta love story or anything like that? Because like I understand they have a beautiful love story, it's great, but like they have a love story rooted in trauma and rooted in so much more than just like
Hmm.
they fell in love. And you
Hmm.
can see that with the books because like the movie amped up the love triangle more when that really didn't like yes it exists in the books, but
Yeah.
not really. Like
Yeah.
Candace kissed him because she felt bad and she didn't know she knew trauma responses and everything. We've talked about this.
Right.
So like you bringing in this fantasy romance story and comparing it to the Hunger Games and that romance, no, that is not the same type of romance
Mm-mm.
at all. And that doesn't intrigue me to read your story. Like, yes, Peeta's my
No.
baby. Katniss and Peeta are my baby. But it's because
Mm-mm.
of their story and what they've been through that brings me there. That's
Hmm.
not what's in your story.
And like Grimm and Gale have very little in common. Like, I'm
Also, why
sorry.
would you compare any of your characters to Gale? Like, do never compare
Right.
someone to Gale.
Correct. Like, I don't like Grimm, but he has a lot more like agency and I don't like he has I don't know. I want to say like more balls than Gale.
But also,
Even.
like, Gale was a teenager, and Graham is supposed to be
Yeah,
like 500. Like, again, also
correct.
that.
They're
Like, do not
not.
compare your adult. Well, I
No.
know it's a young adult because the story's young adult, but like, your characters are essentially adults. Like, do not compare them to these teenagers.
Yeah, no.
No.
That's oh man. Questionable marketing is what I can say.
Mm,
Uh, but hey, she's got a
hmm
lot of it, so
And listen, this
sticking
series does really well for other people. We are the like people in the back going boo, but it's fine. And
again. Yeah.
we're gonna finish the series because we have to finish to hate. I saw a video which I wish we should post like for this whole episode that was like they didn't want to DNF us a book not because it's not good, but because they want to finish it so they can hate on it forever. And it's like you
Oh.
can't hate on it if you don't know how it ends. You know what I mean? Like you can't
Yeah.
hate like you can hate on it, but people are gonna be like, well, did you finish it? Be like, no. And it's like, okay, well,
Right.
what if it got like what if you like the ending?
Yep.
So like that's one
Yep.
of those things where like we're gonna finish it so we can continue to hate on it. We're
Yeah.
like this one,
Validation.
Gods and Monsters. We're not going to finish it because we don't feel like hating on it because
No.
it just wasn't for us in our book club.
No. No, no. So you have a book that you didn't finish?
Well, I did finish it, but we don't know if you're going to read it. Well, I
Remind
told you
me.
not to. Fearless.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
fearful? No, fearless.
Fearful.
Fearful.
Yeah, fearful.
Fearful. So yeah, we were gonna talk. I haven't had a book I recently DNF'd. Um, like I've had books I like haven't finished yet, and I haven't finished them for like months. But it doesn't mean I'm not gonna ever finish it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I
you're
do
not
want to finish it.
actively, yeah, you're not like, no, I'm done.
Yeah. I recently finished Fearful by Lauren Roberts, we've talked about this queen many a times in this
Hmm.
podcast.
We do.
Um,
We
we
love.
have we do love her. We do love her. We have our critiques, and we're hoping for her to improve and in her writing, but we're gonna keep reading her. We've talked many a times about her, and we've talked about her a lot in our episode reviewing Fearful, which was the last book in the Powerless series. Um, Recently there was a novella that came out called Fearful. And I actually remember when Lee and I went to the Barnes& and Noble midnight premiere for
Wild Reverence.
nope, what was the second book in the Powerless series?
Oh, Reckless.
Rackless. Oh, there's a 10-minute mark. Um, when Lee and I went to the midnight premiere for Reckless by Lauren Roberts, where we actually got to see her for the first time, she did mention that she had two novellas signed in the contract, and at that time, the
Mm.
um, the Powerful, I think was the other one. The other one
Yeah.
came out,
Yeah.
so she had a future one, and at the time, we never knew what it was going to be, and it's this one, it's Fearful.
Mm.
And I wish that it was I had better to report. So I told Lee, I don't know if I want her to read it. Like she can, obviously, if she wants to. It's not long, but I just feel like knowing Lee, she's gonna get very angry with it and feel like she wasted her
Oh
time.
no. Oh
And I
no.
also felt that way. I felt like, when you're like, this could have been an email. This could have been an email.
Mm.
It definitely, I don't know if it was the story I would have chosen for this novella. I think there's other stories you could have
Mm.
chosen.
Mm.
So, the novella focuses on Kit Azar, while he is, I think it's like picked up at the end of book two. I know that people have posted, and I think the publisher posted like how you could read it intertwined with the story of book
Oh, right.
three.
There was a
With
tandem read.
There is a tandem read, which honestly, like you totally could do it. Um, but it's delving into madness. Like they're how Kit slowly becomes mad, but also like, okay, this is the part you're gonna hate. So I'm not gonna like spoil the whole thing, but
You
essentially,
can.
no, because
It's
Chrissy just had to
not,
do it.
I know, but it's not high on my list, so.
Yeah, I only did it because I thought I was gonna meet my New York City Comic Con, then I ended up not having time.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
the they meet the personification of death. And at
Okay.
first you're like, what? And then you're like, oh, this is like a real figure that represents death. And they mentioned it a little bit in the last book. Like her name's Mara and she is death. But like it's an
Okay.
actual character. And I think it doesn't work for this series at all because there is
Mm.
no introduction of any magical beings that exist outside of the normal plane of characters. There's
Uh-huh.
gods are mentioned maybe once or twice in throughout the entire series. I feel like there's
Yeah.
nothing where you see any kind of god-like or if not godlike, like other planes of characters. And so
Mm-mm.
this is already setting you up beginning with something that you're not used to, and it doesn't, I don't think personally it didn't fit into the story. And
It's weird.
once Kit takes the plague for the first time, as in book three, that's when they can start to see death because they're getting closer to death. And then there's like a love story with him and death in a way, but he doesn't see it that way, but she kind of does. And there's
That's
an obsession that
weird.
hurts. Yeah, and then the side story is Blair and redhead guy,
Oh,
Lenny.
Lenny.
Um, which was cute, but again, I didn't need it. I really didn't need the time with it.
And like, is it real or was it like a fan service? Because you
No,
remember
it
reading and everyone being like, oh my gosh, like shipping them, like what are they doing? And I didn't see it, but
I mean,
you
it
think
could
that
have been.
Lauren planned that?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think this novella, like the story was planned out well. Like this didn't feel like something that she like planned within the timeline of things. And like if you have another novella in the contract, it felt like an afterthought in a way of like
Mm.
what the story's gonna be.
Hmm. It's so
And like,
weird.
yeah, I know it is because then it feels like a money pull, but I know it's not a money pull because she said it like as of book two when we were there in person that this was like in the contract. So it's not like it's a
Yeah.
money pool. So like it existed, but it felt like that, which is like sucky. But it had no, Lauren's like beautiful writing and metaphors, but I was like skimming over them. I was listening to it, which was
Mm.
cool because Lauren narrated in the book, the whole book. She narrated
Wow.
Mara's chapters. She was playing deaf, so that was pretty cool to like hear
Wow.
the author read, I will say. So that's
Hmm.
what I think I told you too, if you ever decide to do it, like you should listen to it. Um,
For her, yeah.
yeah, and I think it's just the guy who plays Kid is great. He was in the other books, so we listened to, and um, I think it helped in a way. But yeah, like Lenny and Blair's story, it just really wasn't needed, and it did make sense. Um, she was trying to escape the castle and like escape and go into hiding because like her mother's crazy, and then
Okay.
like there's no place for her in the kingdom anymore, essentially. And Lenny's like, well, you can't just like fake your death without help because he's like,
Okay.
you're under my care. So if I lose you, then like I lose all of my status and everything, and I'm not doing that. So like, well, let's work
Mm.
together to have you fake your death and leave, and I'll go with you in the end. And like
Okay.
Mara, the character Death, watches them because she's really intrigued by their story. And she could see their souls and see how their souls are intertwining. And oh my
So is
God, it was
that
so like
how,
kitschy. Like you're like, what is
yeah,
this?
that in a way that feels like Wild Reverence, which you haven't gotten really to, but like
No, I haven't.
that's a whole different world. That is a world of like gods, and this, like you just said, is not. So, but that is that how she gets like away? Like, is the narration like a third person, like omnipresent? They know
It is a third person.
everything.
I think the whole book is third person. Kids chapters might be first person, I'm sorry. But
It
yeah, it's
just feels
like
odd.
they explained it that there's like the moors where souls are brought and she brings them to their deaths. But death is not the cause of death, that's fate. Fate is deciding, which we don't meet fate in the story, but fate decides. And like
Oh,
this character, Mara, wasn't always death. And okay, so she also alluded to like, you know how she said like she has another series coming that's like set in the world of Powerless, but before?
oh,
It's definitely this character because it was like she's been
oh.
screwed over by the Azers before, and she wasn't always death. And then she
Hmm.
like they alluded to like different things in her past.
Hmm.
Um, so I was like, okay, so this is like all connected. So like the Azers have like gone past life itself, beyond the death. And I was like, this family does not have this much fucking power. Like let's relax. Like this is
That's
ridiculous. Because
weird.
she also kept telling Kit how like he doesn't know how the plague started. Like he has the wrong answers. Everything he knows is wrong. He's not asking the right questions, basically. So she was
Our
probably there when
favorite.
the plague started. So I think that's gonna be the other
Huh.
series, is how the plague
I
started.
wonder, that's so weird. I wonder how far back that goes. Like, does that involve Peyton's parents or is it further
I
back?
don't remember. They said it in the book how long the plague was. I think it was 100 years, but I could be really wrong on that. I don't remember. But
Yeah,
it's
I
not like
don't know.
centuries. Like the plague hasn't been around for centuries. It was
Yeah,
like within
I
the
didn't
two
think
cents.
it was that long because it
No, it
seemed like
wasn't.
the king had his hands in things, you know, for
And
a
it
while.
this still did not give me the Kit story I wanted. It still did not give me the Kit like
That's sad.
justifying where she went with him. Like there was a lot that I still didn't get from it that I really wanted. Um,
Did it like uphold his like love for his brother? Like
mhm.
did that? Okay. I mean that's
Definitely a
at
lot of
least
lines of him being like, Kai will understand. I'm doing this for him. I'm doing this for us, and all these things.
okay.
Like, and it goes through the acts of book three. Like, it'll be like, okay, now we're at the trials, or now we're at this part of book three. So that's why, like, you really could read them in tandem.
Hmm.
But like,
Okay.
why would you? Because then it would also take you out of it because you'd be like, who is this death character and why does this exist? Like, it just was like, ugh, like, what are you trying to achieve here? I did not
Well,
get
yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, because like Fearless already took us out when the Edric character had the chapters. And because we
Hmm.
listened to that too, and it was just this random man, and everyone's trying to figure out like who is he and who are the guys in the prologue. So I feel like adding in another random woman is
Did not
weird.
help.
But I guess
'Cause-
is this like at the end of Fearless when I think it's two characters come and like collect Kit?
Mhm.
Is one of them Death?
Yeah,
Is that what we're
she
supposed
comes
to
to
assume?
get him.
Okay.
Like she comes to get him for sure. Um, but at that point she's like angry. I can't spoil the ending for you, but she like gets angry with him.
So she's not in love with him anymore?
No, she was burned by him because he was like, "What are you t-"
Oh.
It was like it was really funny. It was like, "What are you talking about? Like I don't
Oh.
we were never gonna be together." And she's just like, "Yes, we were." You're like,
Oh,
"No, we weren't."
Jesus. This sounds like such a weird, random. Why did she write this?
I don't know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I would have loved a novella of like Peyton's parents,
Hmm.
or the dad figuring out everything. Like, there's so many places we could have taken this. And the one that
Right.
we did just didn't land. And I was just like, what is happening? I was like, Lauren, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, no, that it just sounds strange. I don't.
That's what
That
I'm
makes
saying.
me
You're not gonna like
sad.
it. You're really not gonna like it. Like I'm telling you right now, you're not going to like this book.
Hmm. And that
Which
stinks too
sucks.
because like for a novella, like it should be,
I know. And
and
what's worse is that the original novella, the first one, was amazing.
it
We ate
was,
that shit
yeah.
up. I was like, this novella is
Yeah.
so freaking good. And then,
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm.
no,
Bummer. But
I
yeah,
know.
that makes
It
me
was
not
tough.
want to read the like prequel stuff either.
Well, it also was like, I mean, if it explains it more, I will. But it also for me, I was like, okay, this series got picked up to be television and whatever, right? Okay,
Mm,
great. But then I'm like, are they going to introduce this concept from the start then? Because they have to for a TV audience. The
yeah,
TV audience would be like, yo, what the fuck is happening? So I was
right.
like, I don't know how they're going to intertwine this anymore. And they might
Mm,
just not. They might just like take that out because you really don't need it.
mm-mm.
And that's also if they even keep the whole kid goes crazy. Like I really questioned that if they would keep it for the TV show.
I mean,
As long as they planned
yeah.
it the whole time, like it makes sense. But I was like, I wonder if they like don't do that. They just do something else.
I mean, they could. They probably should. That and like, I don't even know. Like the relationship stuff, like the with him and Peyton, that's weird.
Yeah. I don't know how. I mean, yeah, depends how Game of Thrones they want to get. But with
Right.
Game of Thrones, you go into it knowing that kind of stuff and you believe it.
Right. And it's it's not like everyone does it. It's like the one family and you're like
Well,
eh,
in Game of Thrones,
eh,
House of
yeah, that's what
Dragons
I
is a
mean.
different story.
Well, yes. This is true. Yeah, that
But
like
at that point, we're
they
an established fan base.
right, they don't have real rules in that family. Like
We knew that though. They planted that seed very early on, so it's fine.
yeah, 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 which is exactly like this they didn't. And like you wouldn't ever you don't do that in YA, you know? You just don't.
Just don't.
So
Just don't.
so yeah, some lessons learned. I'm really curious. I never finished the Red Queen series, talk about DNF, but not like on purpose. But I
Mm,
wonder, like, is
you
there, because
will.
a lot of people compare, right? And there's a lot, it's a hot topic. We don't have to get into it, but I just wonder, like, is there an element of gods and death in that
Oh my
series?
God, I'm laughing because I finally got to meet Victoria, the author of Red Queen. I also
Hmm.
haven't read it yet, but Victoria's like one of my favorite follows on Instagram and TikTok. And she talks about this all the time with the powerless thing. And they were talking about it in this panel. It was like beyond fantasy, like creating fantasy for YA books. And one of the authors on the panel was talking about like, yeah, I've had people like come up and compare my book to another book, even though my book came before them. And then she was like, don't even get me started. And I was like,
Oh.
girl, I was like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like,
Oh.
people then read Red Queen, they're like, this is just like Powerless. Bitch, no. Powerless is just like Red Queen. And Lauren has said she
Yeah.
was inspired by Red Queen because she loved that series. So don't shit on my girl Victoria because she came up with it
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
That's why I said
And like
we will read it because we will read it. Like I want to
the
read it.
the first one is very good and like there's twists in it which for her time were new and refreshing. And so like I'm glad she does like stand up for herself, right? And she's like,
Yeah, the
yeah,
book is 10 years old. They have a
I
10-year
came
anniversary
first.
coming.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I'm just curious what other influences were taken.
Hmm.
But
I thought there was another book she said too. It was Red Queen and something else that influenced her. So we'll have to find
I
out and see what it
I
is.
yeah, I know she said just kind of like all of the favorites. So like Hunger Games and but I
She always
think
said
there's
that.
also isn't there another one that has
Was it Selection?
I don't know. I mean, that would make sense. But I think isn't there another one that Victoria has problems with that gets compared? Or is it
Oh,
just
really?
Powerless? I
Oh, I
think
just know about
so.
Powerless, but maybe.
I thought there was another one.
So yeah, that is our recap on our recent DNF journeys. We're gonna see what other books come in the future to DNF. Hopefully not many.
Hopefully not
Um,
many.
as I mentioned, Lee and I and the book club are gearing up for Quicksilver #2. I don't know how excited and how not excited I am for this. I'm
I
very happy
think,
that everyone else is happy, and that's maybe making me
yeah,
happy. But
yeah.
I remember that me and you weren't like, we were like, this is mid.
No.
Like, we were like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And everybody else was like, oh my
Yeah.
God. And we were like, this is okay. And I truly probably don't remember like half of it. So, like, I'm gonna recap as much as I can, but I'm just like, what? Like, what is happening? I don't know.
I think we're just along for the ride. And I
Hmm.
think that's okay. You
It's a
know, if
vibe one.
this, yeah, yeah. I think it'll be good because there'll be a lot of hype. We unfortunately can't go to the midnight premiere, but there is a midnight premiere. Um, and I just think that'll be like good. And like, we know that the book club will be like bumping.
Yes, everyone's
So,
very excited. So that's what makes me excited, I think. And we recently saw some bookish tea. The author said the reason for the cover change was because she got bullied by readers,
oh,
which I thought was
yeah.
wild. First off, if you don't like a cover,
So,
do not ever reach out to the authors. Like that is insane.
no,
She did design this one, but just as like a people don't know how publishing works, 9 times out of 10, this author did not decide the cover. Like this is something that the publishing house makes designs, works with their own art, and they do get feedback if it's a great publishing. They will get feedback from the author. But a lot of the times, if they're through a major publisher, like they didn't fucking design this cover, like the
no.
publisher did. And it's also decided on by many people that go through it because it's the art director's art that makes it and everything, but then also like sales and marketing, and people
Hmm.
have comments that come in about what they want to change about the cover because it's all about selling the book. Like we
Right.
all want to say we don't judge a book by a cover, but we all judge a book by its cover. So
So true. Yeah.
that's enough background to give you to not ever go to an author and judge them on their book cover because sometimes they don't have a say and they don't make the decision on the cover. But this is a case where the author did design this cover themselves. And mind you, we thought it was an okay cover. Like, yes, it's basic in
Yeah.
its own terms, but
Yeah.
I thought it was fine. It wouldn't make me not want to read it. And
Yeah, it intrigued me actually. So
yeah,
I
It was
And
cute.
like,
I was like,
yeah,
okay,
like good for her. She did that, you know? Like she wrote it, she did that.
yeah. Because she was
But yeah,
bullied so much that they changed the covers for both books, and that is just insane.
yeah, and they're not nice now.
Yeah, now we actually don't like them. Now I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
even know what this book is about. Like I when you look at it, I'm like, I have no idea what this book is about. It's
Mm-mm.
not that you're giving like fire and ice. That's what the covers give, fire and ice. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
do we have ice powers in this book? And I forgot. Like, I was like, was Elsa
No.
in this book? And I don't remember. Like, I don't
Well,
remember any
yeah.
of that.
And like the second one is called Brimstone, I think. So,
I don't understand.
yeah, but don't. People are terrible. People,
Yeah.
no.
Callie, we love you and we support you as an author. And people need to
And a
sit down.
designer.
And a designer. People need to sit down
Ah,
because we like you and you should not deserve to be bullied. Nor does any author deserve to be bullied on the cover of their book. Unless if it's offensive, of course. Bully them if it's offensive.
sure.
All that to say, we have some very exciting reading journeys coming up. We are going to be continuing our Allie Hazelwood miniseries with
Mm-hmm.
reviewing the newest in Allie's line of books, which is Mate. Um, so exciting. And then we'll keep
Sequel
going.
to Bride.
Right? And then we'll go back to, then after that, we'll go back to Go to Not in Love. And then we'll keep going with the, I
Well,
think
and then she's
we only have
got
like three left, right? Like main ones. We have Not in Love, we have Problematic Summer Romance, and we have Deep End.
Deep End. Yeah.
And then we're done
But
with the
then she
main.
has, yeah, because then she has novellas, and then she has another audiobook coming out in November.
Yeah, so we'll definitely have more episodes to come because of that. But we're almost done with the main line of publishing that are not novellas or audiobook exclusives or audio whatever. So that's kind of
That's
exciting
so
on our
wild.
Alley journey. I
Yeah.
know, on our Alley journey. I have another
Wow.
author I would love to do next. It's the Western books.
Oh. Honestly, give me some Teddy
I'm
Hamilton.
so excited. Okay, so I have been listening to Lila Sage. I'm obsessed with her books. They're Western, the blue diamond or blue something branch novels. They're like they're all like all connected in their own way. And then she has another new one coming that I got a bookmark for at
Oh my
Comic-Con
gosh.
that's called the Sweetwater Peak novel. So I guess that's a new series. Girl, I'm sat. I didn't realize how much I love Westerns and love Western romance now. And
Oh
I
my
think that you would
gosh.
eat these up. And yeah, Teddy Hamilton is narrator for
Oh
one of them, which is ironic because as I'm listening to one of the books and listening to Mate, he's a narrator in both books. So it's very funny. Um,
my.
so I just think that after Allie, we should do that and you could get into
Okay.
all of them. And it would be so fun to
Okay.
talk about.
I mean, yeah, talk about books and their covers that really get you. Like, you've seen, what is it, Done and Dusted? Like
Mm-hmm.
that artwork is just so eye-catching.
I
So
know. And one of them
they
we
did
thought
their
was a gay
job.
couple, and it wasn't a gay couple.
Oh,
We're like, are these
right.
two women? No, it's not two women. It just looks like it.
Whoops.
Um, which I
But
also found an
okay, I'm
inconsistency
down.
with one of them. The one I'm listening to now, the cover, the guy has a beard, and like the character definitely said like he shaved his beard. He doesn't have a beard. And I was like, does he
Oh.
get it back later? I was like, otherwise you're wrong.
Oh.
It's like he does not have a beard anymore.
Talk about designers. Uh-oh.
You know. But it's fine. You could grow it back. It's not a big deal.
That's
Um,
true.
so we'll do that. And then in our main book club, we are reading Phantasma right now. We will go to Quicksilver, like we said, to Brimstone, and eventually we'll go back to do Enchantra to finish out the Phantasma duet. And then our club will probably start a new series.
Crazy.
Yay! Hopefully we don't DNF it this time.
Hopefully
We,
not.
yeah, I think we're not gonna allow them to. Like we gotta keep going, guys. We gotta do this for real.
Yeah. Well, maybe we just got to give better choices. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll
Or
give like
less
really popular.
choices.
Yeah, we'll give like less choices and really, really like popular ones.
We'll figure it
Oh,
out.
also, I should mention that Lee and I are reading independently of the book club, well, with some of our friends from book club, Red Rising.
Oh.
We are reading the Red Rising
Mm-hmm.
series. We are eating it up
Mm-hmm.
because we're doing the graphic audio, and so it makes it like really intense and really awesome.
Hmm.
So we will be reviewing that series on this podcast, but it's not being read with our book club. But if you read it, come along with us on that journey. Lee is finishing it up right now, and then we're going to review it soon. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, very exciting, very dystopian in the true sense of the word. So,
We're back to our roots, girl. We're back to our roots.
yeah, yeah.
So
But
Lee,
yeah,
where can they find us on?
so follow us on Instagram or Twitter. We are at Faye Tales Podcast.
Twitter.
Oh, Twitter. Oh, TikTok.
Thank
Um,
you.
I got ahead of myself because I haven't told you this yet. I was changing my internet and I was talking to the girl, and they ask you like, oh, what do you use your internet for at home, blah blah blah. And I like mentioned the podcast. I was like, yeah, it's mostly like streaming, but I do like have this. She was like, oh my gosh, like what is your podcast? And I was like, oh, it's like a book podcast. We do like fantasy and dystopian. She's like, wow, that sounds so cool. And I was like, yeah, if you want to look us up. So I gave her all our information.
Hey, I hope you're listening to
So,
this episode now, girlfriend. I hope you liked it. Thanks for helping Lee with her internet.
so, yes, thank you. I had to cancel it. Sorry. But yeah, it was just like a cool little plug. So there we are. Instagram and TikTok at Faye Tales Podcast. You can find us doing crazy things. Cats are there. We're chit-chatting. We're having a
Hmm.
good time. And thank you for listening
And
and
happy
happy
reading.
reading.